Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Welcome to Rogers Center. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and what a day we had yesterday. It was Canada Day, and the Blue Jays and Indians played 19 innings. There was a sold-out crowd, the 14th sold-out crowd to celebrate Canada Day. And, of course, Canada Day was celebrated from coast to coast and in Vancouver. There was a special moment for a Canadian Blue Jay player that was starting out his career at Nat Bailey Stadium, so let's check that out.
Pitch on its way. High drive into left field. Romanin with a grand slam on Canada Day. The lone Canadian will round the bases and touch them all for a grand slam. 7-0 Van City. Come on.
That was second baseman Mattingly Romanin, and that's Mal, Mattingly's father, who is in the PR department with the Blue Jays. What a proud day for the entire Romanin family.
So excited about that. Mattingly, obviously named after Don Mattingly, and he got a chance to meet his idol a few years ago at Yankee Stadium, and hitting like Don Mattingly with that grand slam. So congratulations to the Mattingly family, the Mattingly-Romanin family. That was awesome.
What a great day to celebrate Canada Day out in Vancouver. Well, the Blue Jays, they had quite a marathon with the Cleveland Indians in last night's game. 19 innings over 6 hours, and the Indians came away with the winners. They have won 14 straight. Harry Francona's ball club a little bit down now because they've had to call up a couple of pitchers. So we'll take a look at their lineup. Raj Davis, the former Blue Jay, back into the leadoff spot over his last 12 games. He's at .341 with 6 extra base hits. Lonnie Chisenhall, he had quite a game yesterday and a 5-hit effort to extend his hit streak to 5 straight games, hitting .560 during those 5 games. This lineup, like the Blue Jays, they had a tough, long day yesterday, but they're out again today early on. Quick turnaround, and Marco Estrada will try to cool off the red-hot Indians.
Yeah, it's a tough lineup for the Indians. They put the ball in play, so Marco will have to be on his best. 16th start of the season for Marco, 281 earned run average. That's 5th best in the American League. Righties hitting 149, lefties 185. That's a 168 average. That's the best in Major League Baseball. Jake Arrieta is second at 178, and he's on a little bit of a roll, a strikeout roll. He struck out 8 batters in a game 3 different times over his last 4 starts.
Just his second career start against the Indians. Here is Rajay Davis, and Estrada is set. Here's the first pitch of the game, in there for a strike, and we are underway. Davis, parts of 3 seasons with the Blue Jays. He was a terrific player here with the Jays. Had a lot of stolen bases, made some great defensive plays.
He's been a good addition, I think, for this Indians team. A spark plug at the top of that lineup. He has played some center field. He has played some left field. He is dangerous when he gets on base.
Well, Estrada has already thrown a curveball here this afternoon. It's something we didn't see last time out. He was in Colorado. And the high air there, he didn't feel comfortable throwing that curveball, and he's already brought it into the mix today.
You know, it's such a big pitch for him, but he did not want to use that too much up in Colorado, but it's a big pitch for him. He's got to introduce that thing early on.
Fastball down and away, and Estrada's been dealing with a back issue. It really flared up when he was hitting against Philadelphia in interleague play, and been kind of bothering him in his last couple of starts. Davis hits it high and deep and gone into the second deck, off the facing of the second deck. Rajay Davis' second home run in this series, his 9th of the season.
Not really known as a power hitter, but that's what I mean. He's been a spark plug for him offensively and defensively, showing off some power right there very early. Early on, the Cleveland Indians jump ahead with a home run. It was a home run yesterday that won it for the Indians in the 19th inning. And they start this afternoon off 3-1 fastball right down the middle, and Rajay hit it out of here quick.
1-0 Cleveland. This is Jason Kipnis, the second baseman. Change up downstairs. It's 2-0. Drew Hutchison back with the Blue Jays. He and Aaron Loop were called up from AAA Buffalo. They are both active and in the bullpen today. 3-0 to Kipnis.
Indians have been getting contributions from everybody up and down the lineup offensively for this team. Jason Kipnis has led this team in RBIs during this 14-game win streak.
Another thing that's worked very well for them is they've scored early. With that home run, they've scored first in 9 of their 14 games. This is 9 of 15 now, as they have won 14 straight. That has been able to really relax the starters. They get early lead. The starters go out there, pitch very aggressively, and it has contributed to this very impressive win streak.
And they've been getting some great starting pitching, too. Great starting. Yesterday, it was the bullpen's turn. Great changeup.
First strikeout of the afternoon for Estrada. He gets Kipnis on a changeup. Let's take a look at the defense for the Blue Jays, where they stack up here this afternoon. It is Sanders, Pilar, and Carrera from left to right in the outfield, and Kevin Pilar with another terrific play yesterday. Darwin Barney starting for the 9th time at third. Tulowitzki and Travis up the middle, Encarnacion at first, and Russell Martin behind the plate.
Hey, hats off to Josh Donaldson, Saunders, Carrera, Tulo, and this man right here. They played every inning of every game of the game yesterday. It was a long game. Pilar had a great defensive game. He threw the ball in and kept the double play in order to help them save a run. We showed that diving catch that he made in the 10th inning. But those guys, it was a grind for 19 innings to going out there.
And you got to have a quick turnaround and put it behind you and think about today. Jose Ramirez, he is Mr. Versatility for the Indians. He's playing at shortstop this afternoon and fouls that ball off.
We have seen Ramirez play third base in a game here. We have seen him also start a game in the outfield in left field, game number 1. And then today he gives Francisco Lindor a day off at shortstop.
Curveball in the dirt. Ramirez making his 3rd start at shortstop. The Indians are playing with 2 bench players today. Lindor and Gomes, the only 2 position players not in the lineup, because they have called up a young relief pitcher. Change up inside. It's a full count. Shamori Mando from AA, a young left-hander, has been called up. He is going to pitch today, according to the manager. Estrada strikes out Ramirez, so back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff home run.
Looked like Ramirez might have been sitting on that changeup, and Marco crossed him up, threw him a fastball. It was actually foul tip into the glove of Russell Martin. He holds on to it. Look at him squeeze that ball for the out.
Terry Francona said that we're going to have a 2-man bench today. We'll make adjustments after the game this afternoon. Mike Napoli takes a first pitch strike. Napoli went 1 for 9 yesterday. Struck out 4 times.
Join the group.
Yeah.
There were a lot of guys who struck out a lot in yesterday's ball game.
Cleveland struck out 15 times in the game. The Blue Jays had 18 strikeouts in the game. Vic Carapazza was the umpire behind the plate. Change up, down and away. Darwin Barney playing third base this afternoon. He and Carapazza catching up on things, and there's a lot to catch up on from yesterday's game.
He got to call some of his pitches yesterday. Darwin got to pitch for the first time since Little League.
Darwin Barney was the losing pitcher in that game as he gave up a home run to Carlos Santana, the difference in the game.
I asked him how he felt today. He says, I feel pretty good. I said, when was the last time you pitched? He said, Little League. How about that? He said he had a lot of fun in that inning pitching.
Major leaguers, of course, take a lot of pride in being all-around athletes. Ryan Goins, unfortunately, has been placed on the disabled list, and Estrada strikes out to side. Raj Davis touches him up for a leadoff home run, but Estrada bounces back with 3 strikeouts in a row. Cleveland with a 1-0 lead. He was ejected in the bottom of the first inning yesterday. 6th time this season he has been ejected from a ball game. And let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays still over 500, 4 games over. Josh Donaldson against the Indians starter today. Zach McAllister 6 for 13 with a couple of extra base hits. Troy Tulowitzki, boy, he has been swinging a good bat since he's come off the disabled list, batting .325 over his last 10 games with 4 home runs. Blue Jays were hard-pressed to come up with much offense yesterday, just like the Indians. It was a 2-1 game in 19 innings.
And one of the pitchers they faced yesterday will start today. Zach McAllister gets the start. His first start since April the 10th of 2015. That was against Detroit. He will come out of the bullpen and throw an inning or two as Carrera gets hit on the first pitch. Zach McAllister is starting this game because they weren't sure if Sean Mondo was going to be able to get here in time from Double-A, so McAllister will get the start. Maybe 2 innings they're hoping for, and then another reliever. But he yanks this first one as Carrera squares around a bunt.
Just wanting to take a look at that first pitch. He gets hit in the hamstring. So there is Mondo, who has just joined this ball club today. He was pitching in Double-A and pitching very well. Devin Travis. Devin came into the game very quickly after Edwin Encarnacion was ejected in the first inning. And when Encarnacion's spot came around, Devin was inserted into the lineup.
I asked him about that this morning, and he didn't like DHing. He likes getting out on that field and playing. There was a lot of wheels spinning yesterday in the ball game.
Travis extended his hit streak to 8 games, and it's fortunate he had 7 at bats. He was 1 for 7 in that game.
You know, there was talk of, well, this guy's cramping up, and if we have to use the DH, who's going to go in where and what they're going to do. They were running out of players. They were running out of bodies. There was a lot going on in yesterday's ball game.
Aaron Sanchez was even talked about playing in the outfield. But there was no discussion of Sanchez, Happ, or Dickey pitching in that game.
No, not at all.
Dickey had pitched the previous game. Happ had thrown his side session before yesterday's game. And Aaron Sanchez, he's a very young pitcher just establishing himself, and they didn't want to put him in that spot.
And no talk of Marco Estrada, today's starter, of pitching in yesterday's ball game. So the Blue Jays were boxed in just a little bit.
Travis was headed toward first. It'll be a full count now. Don't be surprised if the Blue Jays start to runner here with Travis. He's got a knack for putting the bat on the ball.
I think you have to stay aggressive. I think you're absolutely right. Carrera's got to take off right here. you're banking on him making contact.
There he goes. Swing and a miss, and Jimenez, the catcher, couldn't come up with it cleanly out of his glove, so it will be a stolen base for Carrera, his 5th of the season on the strikeout.
Sounded like that ball was tipped by Travis. One more time, the runner takes off over at first base. You're counting on him hitting it. Yeah, it was tipped just a little bit. You see it roll around in that mitt, so no chance to throw the runner out.
So Josh Donaldson will step in with a runner in scoring position. Donaldson had his hit streak snapped at 9 games with an 0-4 in yesterday's game. Donaldson was 0 for 6 with a couple of walks. Jimenez got rocked with that foul ball. Donaldson, only the 2nd time in the last 22 games that he hasn't had a hit. He's got his average up to 286 for the season. Had a great month of June. Josh has also been clutch lately. He is 11 for his last 29 at bats with runners in scoring position.
Thought he tied the game up yesterday. If you were with us, he had a drive right to the wall in right field. He has been known to come up with some clutch hits for the Blue Jays.
Fastball out over the plate. Trevor Bauer, who was pitching at that point, said he thought it was a home run too. He said, I know Donaldson's got great power to the opposite field. When it came off the bat, I thought it had a chance to go out of the ballpark. What a good effort by Bauer as he pitched 5 innings, picked up the win. 2 hits over 5 innings in relief. 0-2 pitch to Donaldson. Second time they've made a mistake. They tried to go in on that and left it out over the plate. It's Callister giving Donaldson a couple of good pitches to hit.
Yeah, just enough fastball to beat him just a little bit. Basically a fastball slider is what you're going to get from Zach McAllister. There's really not a lot of tricks. He's been moved to that bullpen after that last start last April 2015. This is his first start since then. He was a starter coming up through the minor leagues.
McAllister has 66 career starts coming into this game. In the big leagues, he made 24 starts, a career high in 2013 for Cleveland. That was also his career high in innings. He threw 134 in the 3rd innings that season. Tell you what, Chris Jimenez put on a clinic last night behind the plate, blocking balls in the dirt in that tie game.
Didn't he? I mean, it was textbook type of fundamentals behind the plate. Quick feet, slides over, and just uses his body to block the ball. Trevor Bauer could not throw a curveball over for a strike. He must have bounced 4 or 5 balls in the dirt, and Jimenez handled every one of them. Here in the 1st inning, McAllister hasn't been able to throw a slider for a strike.
2-2 to Donaldson. Missed with the fastball. Full count, 1 out. Carrera at 2nd after the stolen base. Encarnacion waits on deck. Ball 4th, outside. Good take by Donaldson, and he'll go to first. So there are 2 aboard for Encarnacion. The Blue Jays played 19 innings, 18 without the best RBI guy in the big league.
This is the 1st inning. Edwin cannot believe that that ball was called a strike. Now he had something to say, and it looked like he was walking away from the conversation, but then he got yelled, got thrown out of the ball game by Vic Carapaza, and then he got his money's worth. He went in there to have his say. He got thrown out. John Gibbons would end up being thrown out of the ball game right there. That was all in the bottom of the 1st inning.
Yeah, and it's difficult when you play a tie game into the 19th inning without the leading RBI man in baseball. Mick Carapazza throwing out Encarnacion and Gibbons in the first inning, and later Russell Martin in the 14th was tossed.
Yeah, that was not to take away anything for Devin Traps, who took over, but Edwin's driven in 70 runs this year. Tough to lose that bad in a 1-1 game.
I think Devin would tell you they'd been much better off with Edwin in the lineup. Russell was thrown out after a check swing called third strike, and he had a discussion all game long with Vic Carapazza. Ball and a strike to Encarnacion. Blue Jays are down by a run. Swinging a drive deep to center field. This ball is going to be gone. A home run.
That's what he means to this team. When you don't have him around for 18 innings, you can see why the Blue Jays only scored 1 run. The guy just drives in runs. Seems like every time he goes up there, he's knocking the ball out of the ballpark, driving in big runs for the Blue Jays. They have been pitching him away. And he just stayed right with that one, was able to drill that thing to center field.
Well, Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, out to talk after this pitch to Encarnacion.
How about this for plate coverage? Get out there, drive it, stay in the middle of the field. He's strong enough to knock it out of any part of the ballpark. They pitch him away, drives it to center field.
Home run number 22 for Encarnacion. RBIs 71, 2, and 3. He leads the majors in that category. There's Devin Travis. Says, you know what? I couldn't do that yesterday. One out, 3-1 Blue Jays as Carrera scores the first Blue Jay run.
You know, lost in all that, there's Marcus Stroman. Lost in all that was the great job he did yesterday, pitching into the 7th inning.
Stroman went 6 2/3, allowed a run on 5 hits. There's the bullpen. Jeff Manship, the right-hander, loosening up, and that is Sean Morimando warming up. He will get more time to warm up, so if they need to make a pitching change in this inning, more than likely it would be Manship. What a season Edwin has put together. Half a season, he's got 73 RBIs.
What a month. Just picked up his award. He and Josh Donaldson voted the Players of the Month by the Blue Jays. They were honored before today's ball game. And now he starts off his 2nd day of July, just his 2nd at bat, with a big home run.
Michael Saunders had a rough night last night. Saunders was 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. McAllister pitched an inning in last night's game. He threw 27 pitches. Well, he should be able to bounce back, and I think more than anything he would tell you his location hurt him this inning. He wasn't able to get that breaking ball over early.
Well, his first pitch of the game drills Carrera, and now it's a long inning, so we will probably just see him for just this one inning. It's going to be a bullpen day for Terry Francona and the Indians.
Mickey Callaway just got off the bullpen phone. Looked like he said Manship was ready if you wanted him. Couple of walks in the inning. Well, you mentioned the Blue Jays had 3 ejections in last night's game. This was in the 14th inning. Russell Martin.
I don't think he was upset with this call on the check swing. It was the pitch before that he had some argument with, and a couple of the other ones. Now he's going to have his say, and then he's starting to walk away and said one more thing, and now he's going to go in, say, I've had enough, and this is what he does with the home plate umpire. And Russell got pitched out of that one, but it wasn't just that one pitch going on all day.
He was doing it from both sides. He was discussing the strike zone, not pleased with the strike zone for his pitcher. At the same time, he was upset with the strike zone as he was hitting. Popped up behind home plate, over the screen, out of play. Martin called out on strike 3. 2 down. Edwin Encarnacion hit a 3-run home run this inning. 22 home runs so far for Encarnacion, so he has given the Blue Jays an early lead. He didn't hit his 22nd home run last season until August 18th.
Was August the big month for him last year? That was the big one where he just had a monster month. This year it was June.
Troy Tulowitzki. Like you said, Tulowitzki played the entire game. He finished up 3 for 6. He walked twice. Average at 223.
Yeah, if you think that's easy to go out there in the humidity, it was very hot in the ballpark yesterday, to play 19 innings and then play the type of positions like Tulowitzki and Pilar in the middle of the diamond, where it seems like you're involved in every single play. It's a grind, both mentally and physically. Quick turnaround today.
Well, another thing that has factored in is all the day games. You'll remember that on Wednesday the Blue Jays played in Colorado after a very long night game. They had a 3-hour and 51-minute game after a 2-hour and 41-minute delay. Game didn't start until 9:20 local time. So by the time they got back in bed, it was nearly 2 o'clock, and then they got right around and played a day game.
And then got on a plane, and then came here, and then played a day game. So you're right. It can be a grind on your body.
And now they will have 3 consecutive day games, including the Canada Day game yesterday, Saturday and Sunday day games. Two and 2 to Tulowitzki. Blue Jays lead it 3-1. Home runs accounting for all runs so far in this game. Drive into center. The Nickman is there. Tulowitzki's retired. Raj Davis gave the Indians a 1-0 lead, but Edwin Encarnacion answers with a 3-run home run. His 22nd of the season. He is now driven in a Major League leading 73 runs.
Following yesterday's 19-inning marathon game, the Blue Jays made a couple of roster moves today. Reinforcements have come for a bullpen that's pretty tapped out. As Buck mentioned last inning, left-hander Aaron Loup and right-hander Drew Hutchison were called up from Buffalo. Pitching coach Pete Walker telling me that Hutchison will work out of the bullpen, maybe throw an inning or 2, but that he could make a start if needed. Bo Schultz was optioned to the Bisons, and infielder Ryan Goins was indeed speed, placed on the DL with forearm tightness. Goins hadn't pitched since his college days, and when asked about his experience, Goins said it was fun, it was different. He didn't throw a strike warming up in the bullpen, so he was a little nervous. And Bucky said the toughest thing for him was trying to control his emotions.
He wanted to smile after he got the double play off the bat of Chris Jimenez, but he fought that. He was biting his lip all the way back in the dugout so he wouldn't smile, but he had to be very proud of that situation. And yeah, he's placed on the disabled list, but I think he's going to be very proud of what he did for the ball club yesterday.
He was bringing it. He looked really good. He pitched a little bit in college, hit 90 miles an hour on the gun, and then got that bases loaded double play, which was fantastic.
Curveball bounced in the dirt to Carlos Santana. Santana was the DH in yesterday's game. He finished up 2 for 8. He hit the home run off Darwin Barney. That was the game winner. And here he jumps on that high pitch and rips it into center field for a leadoff single.
He fell behind Raj Davis and gave up a home run the first batter of the first inning. Now he falls behind Santana. Same type of pitch, four-seam fastball out and away from him. And Santana rips it into right field.
Cleveland did a good job of scouting and trading for Carlos Santana. He was in A-ball when they made the trade for Casey Blake to the Dodgers. Lonnie Chisenhall, he bunts it up the third base line, and with Barney playing into a modified shift, Chisenhall trying to take advantage of that. He's got a 5-game hit streak. He's put together a streak of 14 hits in his last 25 at bats, and that's boosted his average to 311.
He might have got the quietest 5 hits that I've ever seen in a game yesterday.
Well, they spread him over 6 hours.
Maybe that's why it took him 19 innings, but he got 5 hits. We're talking about Kipnis being a big hitter in this 14-game win streak. Chisenhall's another one. He's second in RBIs with 10 over those 14 games. Kipnis leads with 13 RBIs. So they're getting contributions from everybody offensively.
Hazel May just told us about the Blue Jays roster moves. The Indians also made the roster moves. We mentioned the pitcher, Morimondo, but they had to designate Michael Martinez. And in speaking with Terry Francona, he was very disappointed they had to make that move. Chisenhall strikes out. 4 strikeouts already for Marco Estrada. But Terry Francona said that Michael Martinez is a very important player for us, but we needed the roster spot to bring Morimondo onto the big league roster.
Sometimes it happens that way. You just get boxed in. 14-game win streak. Look at some of those numbers. Outstanding. They're getting pitching. They're getting timely hitting. Their runners in scoring position numbers outstanding. They're getting the pitching. They're playing great defense. Timely hitting. They're making some of their breaks too. Playing the game the right way.
Foul tip as Uribe checked his swing and just tipped it enough to deflect it off Russell Martin's glove. Juan Uribe, the third baseman, he did not play in the game yesterday. He was the only position player that didn't get in the game. Hot shot. Nice play by Travis. An easy double play. Oh, what a play by Devin Travis. He took a short hop on the glove side. Bill Welke, the second base umpire, said no catch. Travis never hesitates. Watch the good hands at second. Hot shot destined to be in the outfield, but Travis takes it and turns it over to Tulowitzki. A beautiful 4-6-3 double play to end the inning.
It's Troy Tulowitzki Bobblehead Day presented by Jack Links. That's tomorrow, Sunday, July 3rd, when the Blue Jays wrap up their series with the Indians at 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans receive a Troy Tulowitzki bobblehead. The gates will open for you at 11 a.m., so arrive early. Buck.
Arrive early and get one of those beautiful bobblehead dolls, as Troy Tulowitzki's bobblehead will be given away tomorrow. What a nice weekend this has been. New pitcher for the Indians will be Jeff Manship. Manship making his 25th appearance of the season.
Started slowly this year. Its May ERA was 5.19. He dropped that down to 1.50 in June, and then he pitched in yesterday's ball game also, an inning in the third, had a couple of strikeouts.
Faced just 4 batters in that outing. Manship to a total of 16 pitches, so he's in good shape today. Kevin Pillar leading things off for the Blue Jays. It's a 2-0 count. Pillar faced Manship in that game yesterday, grounded out to short to end the 9th. John Hirschbeck, the longtime Major League umpire, came into the league in 1983. He's the crew chief of this umpiring crew. Leadoff walk.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Rogers 4K TV. Get closer to the action with 4 times the resolution of HD alone.
Darwin Barney, the number 9 hitter for the Blue Jays. Barney playing at third base this afternoon as Josh Donaldson's the DH.
No hitting on the field today for the Blue Jays, but they had a chance to go out there and take some ground balls, and guess who was out there early this morning?
Evan Travis and Darwin Barney.
Darwin Barney taking some ground balls at third base to get acclimated over there this afternoon. And Evan Travis just getting some work at second base. It's already paid off for the Blue Jays on that nice play by Evan.
Darwin 3 for 8 in the ball game yesterday. One of his 3 hits was a double, his 5th double of the season. Been a bit of a struggle for him lately, hitting just over 200 his last 15 games.
He can do just so many things to help you win a ball game. You can move him, I think, anywhere on the diamond, and he's going to help you defensively. With the bat, he has gotten off to a great start in his 2016. He said, I'm going to go get my hits. I'm going to shoot balls to right field like I used to and get my hits that way. Watched him yesterday in the game, all the little things he did behind the scenes, checking runners and making sure the infielders were where they were supposed to be. He can do that. He can do that. Just all these little things that'll help you win ball games.
Darwin Barney's one of those guys, and you and I have talked about this type of player forever, that is a good player on a good team. You put him on a good team, and all of his skills, all of the intangibles he brings to a game really translate on a winning team.
Yes, not so much on a poor team. Poor team, you need some star batters.
Yeah, and on a second division team, if you will. Darwin's not going to drive in a bunch of runs. He's not going to hit home runs. But, boy, you put him on a good team, you can count on him. He's not going to lose any games for it. He won't win a lot of them, and he'll contribute to a lot of wins, but he certainly won't lose you any games.
No, he's just a smart baseball player. He can really play this game, and that was a big move by the Blue Jays last year, picking him up.
Manship strikes out Barney. That's the first out of the inning. Got him to chase that breaking ball down and away. So we'll turn the lineup over. Ezekiel Carrera got hit by a pitch to start the bottom of the first. He came around to score on the 3-run home run by Encarnacion. Carrera had a stolen base on a third strike swing and miss by Devin Travis.
Marco trying to stay loose on the bench. Trying to keep that back loose.
High fly ball down the left field line. Raj Davis knows this field very well. He makes the catch in foul territory. Raj played 3 seasons for the Blue Jays, and a lot of those games are right there in left field.
He made one of the best catches I've ever seen in this ballpark until Kevin Pillar did the same thing, where he went up against that wall, jumped over. His glove went over the wall and caught a home run ball. Raj Davis did that a few years ago, and then Kevin Pillar did it just a couple of years after that. I mean, he can make some circus catches out there.
Terrific athlete, and he has really had a very fine career. Devin Travis struck out his first time up. He didn't want to.
And I don't know.
Pick up that breaking ball till late.
I don't know how Kevin Pillar's legs feel. I'm imagining they're feeling like mashed potatoes right now. But this is a great time to steal, I think. He's over at first base. There's 2 outs on, or 2 strikes on Devin Travis and 2 outs. This would be a good time to just try and run. But again, I don't know how his legs feel. I can imagine how they feel.
Yeah, just standing on this artificial surface for 6 hours is going to tax you, but then he runs around defensively, got on base. And yeah, I imagine he doesn't feel like a stolen base would be his best weapon right now.
He has played the most innings of any center fielder in baseball.
There he goes. Ground ball to third. Uribe across the diamond in time. Travis is retired. We've played 2 complete. The Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead, trying to snap the long win streak of the Indians.
Or story this weekend. Our colleagues Martine Guyard and Brendan Dunlop have you covered on Sportsnet Central, weekends at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time.
Great advice, Hazel. A lot going on, obviously. A lot of day games today, Sunday day games, and 4th of July over the weekend. So there's a lot going on. We had Canada Day on Friday, and down in the States, they'll celebrate 4th of July on Monday. Tyler Naquin, the rookie, he's playing a lot and done a good job.
Wonder if he's seen this type of changeup in the minor leagues. He hasn't had a lot of time. I can guarantee you he hasn't seen the Marco Estrada type of changeup.
No, you wouldn't think so, and certainly wouldn't expect him to have faced somebody that can throw it as consistently as Estrada.
He threw it on the first pitch to him right there, just to show it to him early in the count.
is, and he stayed on it and drills it into right. Naquin with a big aggressive turn around first. He stops there with a leadoff single. We mentioned that Estrada pitched 6 innings in Colorado at Coors Field. He left with a 4-3 lead, but what he didn't do last time out was throw his curveball path.
Well, he didn't want to because the ball just doesn't really move that much when you're in Colorado. In 2016, he uses his fastball basically 47.5% of the time, curveball 10%, just 1% in that start versus the Colorado Rockies. So he had to throw more fastballs, but he was still very effective. There wasn't anything wrong with him. He pitched a good game, was in line for the win, but the bullpen couldn't hold the lead for him.
He took a 4-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th, and Carlos Gonzalez hit a 3-run home run, and then he was out of the game after 6 complete. The bullpen gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th, and that was it. Hit and run is on. Jimenez got a piece of it to foul it off. Naquin was on the move.
He's a nice looking player. Naquin played center field yesterday. He's out there again today. Former first-round draft pick for the Indians.
This is his 37th start in center field, and he's come up and given them more than they anticipated for sure.
Well, they're missing Michael Brantley. That is a big bat. Their best hitter basically hasn't played all season long.
Brantley's been dealing with shoulder issues, came back off the disabled list and had a reoccurrence of the shoulder problem, and he has had a total of 39 at bats.
I read an article that they had a second opinion, and they're saying now it's biceps tendonitis in his arm, and they're not really sure when he's going to get back. They've also lost another outfielder, Marlon Byrd, to a PED suspension.
Two and two to Jimenez, the catcher. Terry Francona has done a terrific job as a major league manager. Had his first opportunity in Philadelphia, of course, managed the Boston Red Sox, and now here he is in Cleveland. Jimenez strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts for Estrada.
Told you at the beginning that he has struck out 8 batters 3 times in his last 4 starts. A combination of the fastball and the changeup. He'll mix in a curveball every now and then, and a cutter has been a big pitch for him. Time he goes upstairs with the fastball to get the strikeout.
Raj Davis homered in his first at bat. He's responsible for the Indians' run. Ball on the strike. Pulled on the ground, foul. Two and two. Wouldn't chase that pitch. We have seen Rajay a lot, obviously, having played here for 3 years, and Rajay's toned it down a little bit as far as his swinging.
Yes,
he has been much more selective the last couple of years.
Yeah, you could always get him out on pitches off the plate, hard sliders, hard breaking balls off the plate. He seems to slow the game down just a little bit.
There goes Naquin. The ball is cued off the end of the bat. Foul.
Change up at any time, and I think that's why Rajay's having such a good year. Not striking out as much as he used to. He's had a great career. He's played a long time. He's been with Pittsburgh and Oakland and Detroit, Toronto, and now Cleveland.
Carrera coming hard, dives forward. It's past him, up against the wall down the right side. Naquin's being waved home. They got a shot. Here's the throw from Travis. Not in time. The ball scoots away from Martin. Naquin scores all the way from first. Carrera trying to make a diving catch, missed it, and it went all the way to the right field corner.
And I'm telling you, Raj Davis almost caught Naquin on the bases. He runs so fast. Naquin had to hold up just momentarily to make sure that that ball was going to land safely. Carrera dives for it. If you can't come up with it, you got to block it. He can't do that, and that's going to allow Raj Davis to get all the way to third base. But he was flying around the bases. Travis had a shot to get Naquin if this throw was on line, but it's just up the line, and the Indians have their second run.
Raj Davis has driven in both of them. Now the infield is drawn in with Kipnis at the plate. He pokes it down the left side. Now you mentioned Kipnis and how effective he's been during this win streak, driving in runs. Got 46 for the season, and now he has the advantage of hitting against the drawn-in infield.
Yeah, a total team effort. Guys are getting on base for him. He's driving them in big situations. Don't know how they're going to play this one with the infield in. It's early in the ball game. You're heading into the middle of the lineup of your team. I don't know if they're going to send Rajay with his great speed at third. It doesn't look like it because he's not moving at third base.
That's a great pickup. You can generally tell, and they'll assign somebody on the bench to watch the base runner at third. And if he reacts to the swing as if he's going to go home, then he's coming. But he didn't react at all, so that tells us that he's going to stay put. For another big strikeout. 6 now for Estrada.
The all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Beautiful afternoon here at Rogers Center. 2 outs, a man at third. Jose Ramirez. Ramirez with 31 RBIs. He's a super utility player that plays just about every day.
This guy's been throwing the magic wand out there this year with runners in scoring position, coming up with a lot of big base hits. Remember, we were talking about timely hitting. This guy has been the most timely for him.
There are his numbers. 396 with runners in scoring position. He's hitting 400 exactly with runners in scoring position. Less than 2 outs. 394 with 2 outs. 3-0 count. Martin's done a good job of using the fastball in changeup counts. I think he's caught the Indians off stride a bit. Marco uses that changeup so effectively. He's using the fastball now.
It's been the secret to his success, is using that changeup in fastball counts, vice versa.
Fly ball. Carrera's got a beat on it. He makes the catch. Marco Estrada, 2 more strikeouts in the inning. Raj Davis with a pair of RBIs. It's a 3-2 Blue Jay lead. When we come back, Josh Donaldson will start things off. Edwin Encarnacion has already homered this afternoon, and he'll be followed by Michael Saunders. major league debut is Sean Morimando. He has pitched in Double-A this season. He's pitched very well in Double-A Akron. A 10-3 record, and he has been a farmhand for the Indians since 2011 when he made his professional debut. This is his 6th season.
Former 19th round draft pick, 575th overall in 2011. And look who he gets for his first big league batter.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues, and the first batter you're facing is the reigning MVP, Josh Donaldson.
And the guy on deck isn't too shabby either.
Yeah, good luck with that. We mentioned Morimando pitching in Double-A Akron. 16 starts. He threw a total of 93 in the 3rd innings and allowed just 77 hits. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say he didn't face Donaldson's or Encarnacion's in Double-A.
I think that's a good call. Not these type of established hitters that we are seeing right now. And the Blue Jays don't know anything about him either. So they're going to be looking him over.
Morimando is listed at 6 foot tall. He grew up in the Rochester area, went to high school in Virginia Beach, Virginia. High pop-up on the infield. Uribe, the 3rd baseman, camped under it, makes the catch.
Edwin Encarnacion steps to the plate. Remember, he only had 1 at-bat in yesterday's game, struck out, then was thrown out. Said, well, I'm going to make up for that with 1 swing. Takes that pitch from Sean McAllister and belts it over the center field wall. 3 quick runs for the Blue Jays. That's their only hit this afternoon. 3-run home run in the 1st. Now let's see if they can add to it.
We mentioned that the 22nd home run of the season for Encarnacion didn't come until August 18th last year. As you can see, it's a different story for him now. Over his last 19 games, he's hitting .377. We always like to look ahead and kind of project where a player is headed. At this pace, he's projected to hit 43 home runs and drive in 143.
That's typical, isn't it? That's what he did last year. He hit 40 last year.
Boy, he's a good player. Good
Quiet,
hitter.
Quiet, unassuming. You don't hear that much about him. He just goes about his business.
There's a base hit for Encarnacion. So when Morimando retires, and hopefully he'll have a long career, he'll sit down with his grandkids and say, you know, the guy that I gave up my first hit to was a pretty good player. Edwin is now 2 for 2. Michael Saunders will step in the box. He walked his first time up.
They are giving him the left side right here. He could lay a bunt down, I think, if he wants to. He can walk to first base. I think players would want to take advantage of that just a little bit more, especially if you're a left-handed batter and a left-handed pitcher's on the mound. Just get it down past the pitcher. He's got plenty of speed to beat that out easily.
But it's just so unnatural for most of these hitters to square around and bunt. And, you know, years ago when you played, certainly when you played, everybody had to bunt. When you came through the minor leagues in the Yankee system, everybody had to bunt. I don't care where you were hitting in the lineup. Because when you went to the big leagues, you weren't going to hit third.
Not for the Yankees.
Nope.
You know, you had to learn before you moved up. Before you went up to the next level, you had to do all the things. And if you wanted to learn how to drag bunt, you went out there and practiced it. Played on teams with guys, they were learning how to bunt. They would spend hours after games in spring training bunting off of coaches, learning how to drag bunt. Lay a bucket out there and try and hit that bucket, get the ball into the bucket. Hour after hour. pretty soon it becomes very natural. Now with a 3-run count, Uribe is going to go out by second base, so he's got the whole left side of the infield now if he wants to.
Drives this one into center field. Lakeland will play it on a hop. Encarnacion stops at second. Back-to-back one-out singles for the Blue Jays here in the third.
He has handled those lefties. Goes right with it and does go to left field for a base hit. It's a good start to his day.
Russell Martin called out on strikes in the first inning. Pretty good first pitch changeup from the youngster. Armando's 23 years old. As we mentioned, this is his 6th professional season. This is his first game in the big leagues. He had a little bit of trouble getting here as he was on the road away from Akron, and his passport was back in Akron. So he had to arrange to meet him.
Is that where they were? They were in Pawtucket, and they had to find his passport. He was back in Akron, and they got him here. You mentioned he was from New York. Can you guess who his favorite player was growing up?
Derek Jeter.
Shocker, huh?
Anybody in the New York area, even if it's Western New York, big Yankee fans, of course. 2-1 to Martin. Runners at first and second. The Blue Jays lead at 3-2. Green one. Troy Tulowitzki waiting on deck. Center field, all the way on the warning track, jumps and makes the catch. Encarnacion tags at second. He'll move over to third. Naquin has had trouble keeping traction here in Rogers Center. He slipped a little bit that time as he was trying to get back and make a play on this, and we saw it in the previous 2 games. He's had a couple of routes where he slipped.
Got a little bit of a bad break, but then stumbled a little bit, but recovered enough to haul that ball in. I didn't think he had any shot at getting to that ball after he stumbled a little bit, and you mentioned the traction. He just lost it for a little bit, but athletic enough to get back there and haul that one in. Heads up play by Encarnacion to tag up from second base and move up to third. But that was a heck of a play. He just saved him a couple runs.
He absolutely saved him a couple of runs. Russell Martin hit it to the deepest part of this ballpark. Troy Tulowitzki batting with 2 outs. Another good block by Jimenez. He was charged with a pass ball late in the game yesterday. But boy, he saved runs on several occasions, blocking breaking balls in the dirt.
This one was a little bit tougher because it was a fastball and it doesn't come up. Curveballs bounce and they bounce up and you can block it with your chest protector. That was a fastball and it skipped on him. But he stayed low enough to just keep that ball in front of him. No runners could advance.
Encarnacion is 2 for 2 already this afternoon. He had a 3-run homer in the first, single to left here in the third. A ball and 2 strikes now to Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki with 31 RBIs.
Got to come up clutch right here. They're hitting the ball to right field a lot better.
Fly ball to center field, and they quit. Into the shadows of the roof here at Rogers Center. Makes the catch. The Blue Jays leave a pair. We'll head to the 4th. Toronto has a 3-2 lead. Now time for the Ultimate Cleanup Crew, brought to you by Home Hardware, an exclusive line of the ultimate hard-hitting and tough-on-grime cleaning products.
ALCS rematch. Why not come down to Rogers Center and catch the Blue Jays as they take on the Kansas City Royals from July 4th to the 6th. Always an exciting ball game when these two teams get together. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Mike Napoli goes after the first pitch and pops it into the seats. The Royals will be here on the 4th of July, Monday. It'll be Edinson Volquez at 7-7 against Aaron Sanchez at 8-1. Tuesday's game will feature Chris Young, who's had a tough start to his season at 2-7 against R.A. Dickey, and Ian Kennedy and Marcus Stroman will wrap up the 3-game series. Give me your impression of Stroman yesterday.
He made the little change in his delivery. Stood on there, looked like side saddle, but his breaking ball was good. It was sharp. It was late. His sinker was good. And I think the most important thing that I saw yesterday from Marcus Stroman, threw everything in the strike zone with quality.
Yeah, you talk about quality strikes so far in this ball game. Marco Estrada is dealing. Look at this great changeup, and Napoli, the veteran, knows all about it, but you could see the ball wasn't even close, and he had already committed his swing, and it was past him.
A veteran like Mike Napoli, who has been around that long and he has faced Estrada in the past, didn't have a chance right there. 3 pitches.
Quickly ahead of Santana, 0-2.
There goes Darwin Barton. He's going to be switching now up with Troy Tulowitzki at second base. Now with 2 strikes on Santana.
Ball is lined over the wall in right. Santana with his 2nd home run in as many games. He's 2 for 2. and he has tied it up.
Looked like they tried to slip a fastball by him. They wanted to go upstairs, thinking that Santana was thinking about a changeup. They tried to elevate that fastball, but he's just a good hitter. They have him in an RBI slot here in this game, hitting behind Mike Napoli, and it works out once again for Terry Francona. Four-seam fastball. You can see where Russell Martin, he wants that ball up, but Santana gets on top of that one and clobbers it to right field.
3-3 game.
See, Russell wanted that ball up, and it was up. But Santana was just a little bit better.
Oh, nice play by Encarnacion. He catches it before it hits the ground. The ball looked like it was going to be a foul ball, but he stayed with it and made the catch, and he took a hard landing.
That looked like extra bases for Lonnie Chisenhall. 5 hits yesterday. He is robbed of one right here. He just rolls over that changeup. And Edwin very alertly catches it and then shows John Hirschbeck, the umpire there, that he made the catch.
Yeah, you're right. That was going to be a fair ball. And Darwin Marty comes over to give Encarnacion a chance to regroup, and Marco Estrada. I still think Marco's dealing with that back issue. He's soldiering through dramatically as he's struck out 7.
It might have been the break off the mound on that ball to the right side. Watch him one more time. It's a changeup. He breaks, and then after that play, while we were waiting, he was down trying to stretch out that lower back. You can see he might be dealing with that again.
Uribe pops it into the seats out of play. Now, what Marco is dealing with most recently is unrelated to his injury he had in the spring. Remember, he had a upper back injury that he suffered working out, and that caused him to miss some time in the spring. But this is going back to the game in Philadelphia when he hit.
Yeah, he said he was taking BP. I think it was even before that. He was taking batting practice before that game and swung it so it's a lower back problem. Just trying to keep that stretched out while he was out on that mound.
Three and one now to the third baseman, Juan Uribe. Uribe began his big league career in 2001 with Colorado. He was 22 years old when he got his first opportunity in big leagues.
He's had a few big hits in the postseason, hasn't he? Played on some winning teams.
White Sox first and foremost in 2005, that World Series team. And then he got back to the postseason in 2008 with Chicago in Tampa Bay. They lost the ALDS. This time he grounds it to third. Marnie has it. In time, Marco Estrada gingerly walking off the mound after completing top of the fourth. Estrada in a 3-3 game.
power and skill. Watch the 103rd edition of the Tour de France, July 2nd to 24th on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 1.
One of the great sporting events in the sports world, the yellow jersey. That's always what everybody's shooting for with each leg of the Tour de France. Kevin Pillar will lead things off here in the fourth. Pillar walked to start the second. He was stranded.
Kevin's over the last couple of weeks has been very aggressive at the plate. Talking to him the other day, he says, you know, I've been aggressive. I've been swinging early in the count, and wouldn't you know it, I'm walking a lot more than I have in the past.
Yeah, his walk in the second, already his 9th of the season. We say already because he had 28 walks all year last year. Fly ball into center. Mickwin is there, makes the catch.
Make your renovation a cut above during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
3-3 ball game. And remember last night it was 1-1 into the 19th inning. Now when Barney, the third baseman, goes after the first pitch.
The Blue Jays are seeing firsthand why the Indians have been so tough. Here they're 49-30, and their pitching has been really good.
They have a 7-game lead over the Kansas City Royals, who will be here on Monday to take on the Blue Jays. Cleveland's won 14 in a row. Their run differential is plus 95.
That's the impressive thing. Blue Jays got 1 run on Thursday. They got 1 run yesterday in 19 innings. And look at where they rank. Team ERA 3.34. The starters ERA, the bullpen's second. Opponent's average, and then the WHIP. Everything is first. This team has been built on pitching, and they haven't let them down.
Darwin Barney rips it into center field. A 1-out base hit for Barney. We mentioned the run differential. The Indians at plus 95 coming into this game are second in the majors to the Cubs. Only the Cubs have had a larger run differential, and theirs is ridiculous. They're plus 161 at the start of play. I like that as a measure of your team. I think that gives you a good feeling about the quality of your team, because you can score runs and you can prevent runs.
And you can prevent them. You have to have a good pitching staff. I mean, if you have a plus 40 or plus 30, you're just giving up as many as you score.
Carrera drops down a beauty. Santana not in time. Kipnis came over from second. That's the 5th bunt base hit for Carrera, and that was a beauty.
He is getting really good at that. Even though they were holding him on at first base, Santana, he's going to drop this ball down and just dens it. Into no man's land, no chance to get him over there at first base. The only play was Kipnis, the second baseman. He is actually racing Kipnis to the base, and he beats him to the bag just ahead of the second baseman. He's getting really good at dropping that bunt down, but he practices it. He does it at least once a game.
Yeah, and that's 5 base hits for him now on the bunt. Devin Travis 0 for 2. Breaking ball in the dirt. With 5 bunt base hits, Carrera is up among the leaders in that department. Rougned Odor of the Rangers has 7 bunt base hits. Then Adam Eaton, Danny Espinosa of the Astros, Cesar Hernandez, and Gerardo Parra all have 6. And there's a group of 3, including Carrera, who have 5.
He should be hitting about 290 now after that base hit. You take those 5 hits away, he might be hitting 240. I mean, just think about those one hit a week. Drop it to up 289. Okay, I was close. 1 hit a week, what it can do for your batting average.
Over the course of a season, it's 50 points on your batting average. 1 extra bunt base hit. 26 weeks in the season, 50 points. Travis goes after that high pitch and strikes out.
So if you can run a little bit, you have the ability to bunt like that, why wouldn't you practice it? And why wouldn't you use it in the game?
Especially against the shifts nowadays. Yeah. I mean, you can pick your spots when the teams choose to put a shift on you. Drop a bunt down.
Well, what you do is you set up these type of situations for your big guns.
Yep.
Josh Donaldson's got a chance with a couple of runners on now.
Josh is 0 for 1 with a walk. He scored in the first after that walk. Sean Morimando was the pitcher that started the 3rd inning, and Donaldson was the first man he faced. This is his major league debut.
You know, that looks like it was outside for Josh because the catcher had slid to the inside and actually had to reach back over the plate on that last pitch. That's why I think he was questioning it, but it was a strike. Like they're trying to jam him up, throw him inside.
Jimenez just doesn't even flinch. That ball's in the dirt. No problem at all. Francisco Lindor getting the off day. He's the regular shortstop. Looks like he's having a nice relaxed afternoon.
Good player. Good player. Blue Jays have done a good job holding him down in this series, the first couple of games.
Way outside. It's now 2-2 to Donaldson. Encarnacion on deck is already 2 for 2 this afternoon. Donaldson called out on the strikes. DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire, explaining his thoughts to Donaldson as the inning is over and the Blue Jays leave a pair. It's a 3-3 game as we head to the 5th. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Samsung broadcast studio.
Junior J's Saturdays is presented by Boston Pizza. Join us pregame outside gates 5 and 10 for inflatables, activities, and lots of fun. After the ball game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like they're pros. For tickets, BlueJays.com. Bye.
Beautiful afternoon for all of those great activities. Another full house here this afternoon. A lot of kids anxious to run the bases after this game. Tyler Naquin, the center fielder. Naquin scored all the way from first base into third after he had singled to right. He scored on the triple by Raj Davis. Reaches for it and pops it up. Estrada calls for it at the mound, and he makes the catch.
The checkered flag event is back, celebrating over 50 years of racing heritage in every Honda. Now is a great time to get into the all-new Civic.
3-3 ball game on a Saturday afternoon. It's one you want to write about. It is perfect. A little bit of rain yesterday, and the ball game was played indoors with the roof closed. But today, it's perfect.
Oh, why couldn't it have been like this yesterday on Canada Day, huh?
It was still a festive event, and as a matter of fact, it was a festive and long event. 19 innings, 6 hours in total. The sad part of that was the Blue Jays lost 2-1.
You know, that's what each one of the players I had a chance to talk to today down in that locker room. They said, you know, if we're going to stay here for 6 hours, at least win the ball game. And every one of them, they were happy about the effort and everything like that, but they just wish they could have won the ball game. Those are the kind that you talk about for years.
Well, both teams had several opportunities to break the game open earlier. You look at the runners in scoring position numbers. Cleveland was 1 for 12. The Blue Jays were 1 for 10. Edwin
17.
didn't have much to do with it. He was 0 for 1 and ejected after his at bat in the first.
17 runners left on base by each team. You know, there were chances all over that game for each team to win it earlier. But that's what made it exciting, I thought. The Ryan Goins bases loaded double play in the 8th inning was something to behold. That was fun.
Chris Jimenez is the batter. He got to hit into that double play.
The Bo Schultz double play in the 15th inning. I mean, he gutted through 2 2/3 innings with that bad hip yesterday, giving the Blue Jays a chance. Well, we talked about it. Now we're going to show you. Ryan was hitting 90 on the gun. Now the bases are loaded. Ground ball. Got to get it out here, and the Blue Jays turn a double play and play on. Ryan Goins, you know how excited he was walking off the mound.
It's a fly ball into center. Kevin Pillar is there and makes the catch. Jimenez is retired. Marco Estrada is pitching in a very difficult park for pitchers. This ball flies here at Rogers Center, and it's really impressive what he has done in his 7 home starts.
Because he's been in the past a fly ball type of pitcher, but he's kept it in the yard. His whip is under 1. He's averaging a strikeout an inning. Opponents runners in scoring position just 2 for 21. He buckles down, and he does it with a fastball that hits 88 or 89 miles an hour. This guy goes out on the mound and he pitches. He has worked really well, I think, this year with Russell Martin behind the plate.
Davis reaches for that off-speed pitch and pops it foul into the seats.
But today it looks like he's really hampered by that bad back, and maybe that's why we see Joe Biagini now starting to throw in that bullpen. We have watched him come on and off the mound very gingerly. He has stretched his back a couple of times while he was out on that mound, and you know, I don't know how much further he's going to be able to go.
Yeah, and Pete Walker, the pitching coach, has been monitoring him every half inning when he comes back off the mound. Davis with a wild swing at that changeup. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th in this 3-3 game.
Marco has that streak alive of at least 6 innings pitched.
Ground ball. Tulowitzki, it's short. Quickly to first. And time to get Davis. 3 up, 3 down. 5 straight retired by Estrada. He has completed 5 innings. The Blue Jays are in a 3-3 game.
Powered by the Samsung 4K SUHD TV.
Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests of TD who've received an in-stadium seat upgrade. While over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse, we welcome fans from Melanoma Foundation of Canada and the Save Your Skin Foundation. Welcome everybody. Enjoy the ball game.
Marco Estrada, through 5 innings, has thrown 96 pitches, and he has really come up with some great pitches. 7 strikeouts for Estrada. 5 hits allowed. He's in a 3-3 tie.
He's got 12 consecutive starts of at least 6 innings and 5 hits or less. So we'll see if he'll come out. The Blue Jays are still throwing down in that bullpen, so we'll see.
Edwin Encarnacion, a big day today at the plate. He's 2 for 2 with a 3-run home run his first time up. Indians playing him to pull on the infield. 3 defenders on the third base side of second. Edwin had a 2-homer game in Colorado on the 27th. Off the end of the bat, Pitcher's over to the bag, and there's the flip, and he was able to kick it a second time to make contact with the base.
That almost worked out for the Blue Jays. You mentioned the 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. Everyone had a full cut. It looked like on a changeup. They had to race that pitcher over to the bag. I thought Santana did a good job. Look how he cuts down the distance between the throw to the pitcher. And Armando finds the bag to record the out. A couple more feet to his right, and I think Edwin would have had an infield hit. Now the shift goes to the other side of the diamond with Michael Saunders at the plate.
Uribe, the lone defender on the third base side of the diamond. Saunders has walked and singled. His single went to the left side of center field. Pulls the breaking ball.
It's a guy you don't want to think about pulling right now because he's going to be pitching him away, keep the ball away. He's done a good job this year against left-handed pitching. His average now is over 300 versus lefties. Got to be able to use the whole field.
One and two to Saunders. Raj Davis, the left fielder, in pursuit. This ball is 2 rows back out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes to Saunders.
Cleveland has the second most wins in the American League. Texas Rangers now are on a roll. They're 8.5 games up on the Houston Astros in the American League West. Cleveland's got a 7-game lead over Kansas City. And they were talking about this series being a test for them.
Saunders strikes out as he waves at that pitch away. That's 4 strikeouts. Excuse me, 3 strikeouts for the rookie, Morimando. You talk about Houston, and they're playing great right now. They won 4 in a row and 9 of 10, but they're still back by 8.5 behind Texas.
That little run that they've been on has been able to push them over 500. Their record is right around the same as the Blue Jays, and right now there's a few teams after that wild card in the American League.
There are 8 teams in the American League within 3.5 games. A little roller to third. Martin is thrown out and bottled by Santana. Santana scooped it but never had control of the baseball.
I think Uribe, excuse me, Buck, had a little bit more time than he thought at third base. That ball got to him very quickly as a third baseman, and he threw on the run. I think if he plants his feet, sets his feet, and throws the strike over there, he's going to get him, but he threw on the run, sets himself, and the ball got over there. It was an easy ball to scoop for Santana. He just couldn't get it.
I still think you're going to end up charging Uribe with the air. It was a routine play. He didn't make a good throw.
Right. I think if he sets his feet and gets his legs underneath him, he'll be able to make a better throw.
Russell Martin credited with an infield hit. So he gets an infield hit on that little roller to third. Troy Tulowitzki has flied out twice to center.
Make it hurt now. Tulo's been swinging a hotter bat. He's starting to drive the ball a little bit better. Had a couple of home runs on that last road trip for the Blue Jays.
side off the plate. Armando will be back to Double-A after this start, more than likely. But what an experience to share with his teammates back at Akron. I got to the big leagues. I pitched in a packed house at Rogers Center.
Indians will make a couple of changes after this ball game. You've got 2 guys on their bench. Tough to finish out a series with just 2 people on your bench. Terry Francona loves baseball. He was talking the other day that he was taking real estate courses when he finished as a player until he got a call to get back into the game as a manager and as a coach.
Tulowitzki pulls it to left and deep and gone. 2-run home run for Tulowitzki. Number 13.
Indians were not able to make that play to finish off the inning off the bat of Russell Martin. And Troy Tulowitzki indeed makes it count. Cash him in, make it hurt. Might have been a changeup out over the plate. He stayed back long enough, and he's actually able to pull that outside pitch down the left field line for the home run.
5-3 Blue Jays.
See his weight started shifting out on that front foot, but he kept his hands back long enough to drill it out of here, and they take advantage of the misplay.
Marco Estrada is the pitcher of record. He's been pitching in tough luck, but Tulowitzki gives him a 2-run lead with the 2-out home run. He might be done here. He's thrown 96 pitches. We've got 7 strikeouts. Joe Biagini continues to throw in the Blue Jays bullpen.
Usually when you see that reliever, he is still throwing in the bullpen. He's going to come in here. There's Joe. He's still warming up.
Well, it has been apparent all afternoon that Marco Estrada is dealing with a wonky back. I mean, he has not been prancing in and off the mound, and he's been very gingerly in his approach, but he has pitched well. 7 strikeouts. He's allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. The only downside of this situation would be the fact that his consecutive game streak of 6 or more innings with 5 or fewer hits will come to an end. It stands at 12, a major league record. Pilar strikes out. The Blue Jays take the lead thanks to Troy Tulowitzki's 2-run home run. Marco Estrada looks like he's going to be done. Tulowitzki with a 2-run homer, his 13th of the season, and the Blue Jays have a 5-3 lead.
say staycation again with the #1 rated travel rewards card in Canada, the WestJet RBC World Elite MasterCard. Visit rbc.com/WestJet to apply today.
Beautiful afternoon to be at the WestJet flight deck as it's open air baseball here in Rogers Center. New pitcher for the Blue Jays is Joe Biagini, making his 29th appearance of the season.
Well, everybody pitched in yesterday's ball game. Joe Biagini threw an inning in that game. He threw the 10th inning, gave up a couple of base runners. He was bailed out by that great catch by Kevin Pillar in the 10th inning off of Jose Ramirez's bat. But overall, Joe Biagini is putting up some pretty good numbers for a player in the big leagues for the first time. Joe had not pitched above Double-A before this season.
Biagini threw 20 pitches in that inning of work in yesterday's game. It'll be Kipnis to start things off, and Biagini delivers a strike. Kipnis struck out twice against Estrada.
There's some talk about, well, maybe is Joe Biagini a starter or is he a reliever? For me, I love him in the bullpen. He comes in and he throws strikes and he's not overwhelmed.
Ball gets away from Martin, and Kipnis is going to reach first. A strikeout and a wild pitch as that ball in the dirt gets away from Russell Martin, and Kipnis is aboard.
This happened to the Blue Jays on the road trip, and I believe it was Joe Biagini. It happened with him in Chicago. A curveball that ends up being strike 3. That's a great curveball in the dirt. It's buried, but Martin cannot block that one. It looked like it ricocheted off the heel of his glove. It did happen with Joe Biagini in the second inning he had in that game in Chicago against Melky Cabrera. A strikeout and a wild pitch.
Jose Ramirez playing shortstop today. Martin catches that low pitch.
But I like him as a reliever because he comes in and throws strikes. He's got the big body for it too.
He has been a starter in the past throughout his minor league career in the Giants organization. He was a starting pitcher.
I like how teams will use young pitchers and break him into the big leagues out of the bullpen. You can control the innings. You can control the situations. You can break him in under these types of situations where they're not overwhelmed. You don't have to go 3 times through a lineup.
The Blue Jays did that very effectively in the late 80s into the 90s. They did it with Jimmy Key in the mid 80s. In '84 he worked out of the pen. Then Pat Henkin worked out of the pen. Stottlemyre, David Wells, Al Leiter all worked out of the bullpen in the early 90s, and they all became starters. Ramirez foul tips the ball off Martin's glove, and he loses the grip on his bat. Martin retrieves the baseball. Ramirez retrieves the bat.
I was talking to Russell the other day about that helmet. That's a new type of helmet that he is using. And it's got it's a Kevlar helmet with this padding inside of it that he says when I get hit in the face mask like that, I don't even feel it anymore. I've got some extra padding in the helmet. It's a new type of face mask that he has. But he says the helmet is great for plays just like that. He says I can get hit, I don't even feel it.
There's been a lot of studies on what type of equipment serves catchers and umpires the best to protect them against the concussions.
See that green on top there? That's all that extra padding inside of his helmet.
Kipnis wants to run. Biagini stepped off. Boy, Biagini shows composure there. Kipnis was just about ready to break for second. He kept inching off first, and Biagini sensed he better step off.
That happened to Joe somewhere earlier this year. Just stepped off and ended up getting the out.
There's a base hit to left field for Ramirez. Kipnis up to second. Marco Estrada is the pitcher of record. He's in line for the win. He goes 5 innings, throws 96 pitches, and he sees his terrific streak come to an end. That streak of 6 or more innings, allowing 5 or fewer hits, is a major league record. But he didn't walk a batter today. He got some big strikeouts with runners in scoring position. He got Kipnis in the third.
Some of those teams that he did that record against, Colorado, that's a great hitting team. Arizona's got some great hitters. Baltimore, Boston, the Yankees, Texas, the Dodgers, Texas again. All of those guys he shut down. 5 hits or less. The last time he gave up more than 5 hits, April the 21st.
Mike Napoli, the DH this afternoon. He struck out twice against Estrada.
Let me correct myself. More than 5 hits in a game was April the 21st. He did that against Baltimore, at Baltimore. 5 innings, gave up 6 hits. That's the last time he gave up more than 5 hits. Think about that. April the 21st.
Appeal down to the crew chief, John Hirschbeck, at first, and he indicated no swing. First baseman Santana's on deck. Aaron Loup, just back from the minor leagues. Loup had appeared in 7 games in his first go around with the Blue Jays. A total of 4 innings. Napoli strikes out.
That's the 3rd time that Mike Napoli has struck out this afternoon, and Joe Biagini's got a fastball, a curveball, and he can cut the ball, and I think that's what he threw right there to Napoli. They don't know him too well. It's the first time that they're seeing him, and yeah, cuts that ball. Watch that ball get underneath the bat.
Napoli struck out 4 times in the 19-inning game, and he's struck out 3 times so far this afternoon. Carlos Santana is 2 for 2. He had a home run in the 4th, singled in the 2nd.
This guy just doesn't swing at bad pitches. He's a power hitter. But he's got a great on-base percentage. That's why they were having him as a leadoff hitter for the longest time. Today he's in an RBI situation.
For his career, he came into this game with a .362 career on base percentage. And he's got some pop, as you mentioned. He's had 3 20 home run seasons. Also had a 19 home run season last year and 18 in 12.
And he's got 18 now with that home run today. He's got a great eye. Yeah, he just won't offer at any of those pitches.
Led the American League in walks in 2014 with 113 walks.
Think they might give him the green light here?
Yes.
He's a home run threat, obviously, and he's the go-ahead run.
Looked like he wanted to hit. 3-1 now, 1 out. Blue Jays turned to double play in the 2nd. Cutter well in the zone for strike 2. Breeze has picked up a bit. Roof has been open all afternoon.
That means that ball's going to carry into the outfield, so the outfielders are going to have to make note of that it's very breezy. It's swirling in the outfield, so you're going to have to take a couple of steps back.
Santana walks. It's going to load the bases.
Make your renovation a cut above during the DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Bases loaded. Blue Jays have a 5-3 lead, but the Indians threatening with Lonnie Chisenhall at the plate. Chisenhall was robbed of an extra base hit in the fourth by Edwin Encarnacion. He made a diving grab of a line drive that was headed down the right field line. Kipnis, he struck out and reached on a wild pitch. Ramirez singled and Santana walked. The bases are loaded. Eugenie ahead 0-2.
Chisenhall finally starting to come into his own for the Indians. He was a first-round draft pick in 2008. He hit in the minor leagues. Had some big years when he was in the minor leagues for the Indians, and it's taken him a while to get acclimated in the big leagues. But he's starting to come around as a hitter.
Well, good curveball and a nice block. Martin's not sure where the ball is, but Kipnis has to stay put at third. Strikeout out number 2 this inning.
Joe's curveball is really good this afternoon. He struck out Kipnis, and he got on the wild pitch. He struck out Napoli, and now he strikes out a pretty good hitter, and Chisenhall with that curveball buries it in front of home plate. Good job by Martin to keep that one in front of him. So Kipnis cannot score.
So Biagini has a chance to record 4 strikeouts this inning. He has struck out 3 so far, but just has 2 outs. Steve Delabar is the last Blue Jay to strike out 4 batters in an inning. That was August 13th, 2012 in the 10th inning. Tyler Duffy of the Twins has a 4 strikeout inning this year. Biagini trying to do that.
Throwing that good curveball. That looked like that cutter, the same pitch that he struck out Napoli with. Want to get him right here.
2-2. Fouled it off, reaching for that fastball.
Uribe's had a nice career with the bases loaded, 5 grand slams. But he's a free swinger. If you make a pitch, you can strike him out.
Julio Teheran of the Atlanta Braves has a 4 strikeout inning this season. He did that on the 24th of May. 3-2 outs. The runners will be off on the pitch. Straight back, and we'll do it all over again. Jason Kipnis struck out to start the inning and reached on the wild pitch. Jose Ramirez singled the left. Napoli struck out. Then Carlos Santana walked. And Lonnie Chisenhall struck out. He hit him with the pitch, and that's going to force a run in. Harry Francona out to check on the well-being of Uribe. Hit him on the right hand. That fastball up and in.
Ball just got away from him. He tried to go fastball in, let go of it, and that hit him right on the top of the top hand, maybe the thumb area. Blue Jays are checking to see if he swung, but he didn't, and he got hit. And with that, John Gibbons has popped out, and he wants the lefty.
So Aaron Loop has been called into the game. Drew Hutchison is warming up. Tyler Naquin, the center fielder, a left-handed hitter. With the bases loaded and two out, Aaron Loop will come into the ball game. The Indians have scored a run here in the sixth. It's a 5-4 ball game.
Fans, celebrate Canada's team with TSC and discover officially licensed Blue Jays fan gear. Shop online at tsc.ca.
Well, things are getting dicey for the Blue Jays here in the top of the sixth. The Indians have made it a one-run game. They've scored a run here. Uribe hit by a pitch, forced in a run. Now Aaron Loop facing Tyler Naquin, the lefty.
Aaron was telling me today that they got the call last night. They were in the fourth or fifth inning of their game in Buffalo, and he and Hutch were able to grab a car service and get in here last night, beat the traffic from this morning. So he was here last night. He's got it right into the ball game and in a big situation here.
This is just the 8th appearance for Loop this season. Left-handers have hit .500 against him, 3 for 6 with 2 home runs.
His job right now is get that left-hander. You saw a quick shot of Drew Hutchison warming up in the pen. There's Hutch. Looks like he's ready if they need him.
One and two. Breaking ball on the ground. Travis to first, and Luke gets out of it. Aaron Luke leaves the bases loaded. The Indians scored a run in the top of the sixth. It's 5-4 Blue Jays.
Phillies on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda. The checkered flag event is back, celebrating over 50 years of racing heritage in every Honda.
It's a 5-4 game as we head to the bottom of the sixth. That's Francisco Lindor, the young shortstop. He has come off the bench playing at shortstop because Ramirez, the starting shortstop, has to move to third base because Juan Uribe, who was hit by that pitch, has left the game with an apparent injury.
One player now left on the bench for the Indians. There's Jose Ramirez, the super stub.
As Uribe leaving the dugout, he got hit on the right hand, and he is done for the day. But he got hit by a pitch and picked up an RBI. And it's a 5-4 Blue Jay lead. For the Blue Jays, it'll be 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the sixth. Darwin Marney singled his last time up with a one-out single to center. That was in the fourth inning. Two and 0 to leadoff man here in the sixth. Four-pitch walk to start the inning. That's the first walk Moromondo has issued this afternoon, pitching in his first big league game.
Done a good job. He's thrown 3 innings. I think Terry Francona and the rest of his coaching staff think something might be up, that he might be getting tired, as they got a reliever throwing already at the beginning of this inning. That's a big 4-pitch walk as it turns the lineup over.
Ezekiel Carrera had a bunt single in the fourth. He is 1 for 2, hit by a pitch in the first inning. Dan Otero, the right-hander.
I got to believe that he is not going to let this young left-hander face Travis, Donaldson, Encarnacion. Now, as they keep creeping closer, and the Blue Jays keep scoring some runs, this might be his last batter of the afternoon.
Donaldson has already faced Moromondo twice today, as has Encarnacion. When you see a reliever pitching for either team down in the bullpen, you could assume they pitched in yesterday's game. Everybody but Cody Allen. Of course, Hutchison just joined the team today. Luke has already pitched, and he may be out of the game. Hutchison might be next to work for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he's just standing down there right now. Everybody pitched for the Blue Jays out of that bullpen. That's why they needed some reinforcements today. Never easy, is it, to be a manager?
It's the big leagues. Everything is a challenge. Every team capable of winning a game on a given day.
And there's a lot of things that we don't know about that's behind the scenes that those decisions are based on. You know, if a guy might get sick, or a guy might get injured and they come out of the ball game, there's all those factors that we don't know about why certain decisions are made.
Ground ball. Kipnis quickly to second. Lindor back to first. Double play. Kipnis had that long backhanded toss, but he delivered a strike to Lindor coming across the bank.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see second baseman pivot and actually throw the ball, but that was a long backhand. Watch, this is directly at Kipnis. Takes a couple steps in, and the backhand, you're quicker that way, and you get a little bit more on it. Indians turned their 61st double play of the season, and what a job by the young kid.
How about that? His first big league game, and he did a terrific job for Terry Francona. And you can see Francona appreciative of the effort for Morimondo, just up from Double-A. He's got a big league game under his belt. He'll turn things over to Dan Otero, the right-hander.
TBT t-shirt is presented by Honda. The first 15,000 fans will receive a Throwback Thursday retro t-shirt this Thursday, July 7th, when the Blue Jays take on the Detroit Tigers at 7:07 p.m. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
New pitcher is Dan Otero, and we mentioned Dan Otero, of course, like the rest of his bullpen mates, pitched last night. An inning and a third. He had a strikeout through just 13 pitches.
Blue Jays saw him when he was with the Oakland A's last year. He actually was claimed by the Phillies this offseason off the Oakland A's roster. He was there a month when the Cleveland Indians acquired him for cash on December the 18th. And it's his first year with the Indians. He's a strike thrower. Doesn't throw very hard, sinker slider type of player. Ball is always around the plate.
Ball and a strike to Devin Travis. Fly ball to center. Naquin gets back right on the edge of the warning track and hauls it in. Otero closes out the Blue Jays in the bottom of the sixth. We'll go to the seventh. The Jays have a 5-4 lead over Cleveland.
Rogers customers get free VIP Blue Jays experiences like alumni meet and greet, seat upgrades, offers, and more with Game Plus, part of the MLB.com ballpark app. Learn more at BlueJays.com/Game Plus. Buck.
Well, we had a Game Plus yesterday. We had a Game Plus a second game in that 19-inning affair, and it was a terrific ball game. Cleveland came out on top 2-1. Drew Hutchison. See his numbers from AAA. Buffalo, 15 starts, most recently on Tuesday in Louisville.
He's also made a start for the Blue Jays. He got called up earlier this year, made a start for the Blue Jays, and then back down to the minor leagues. 15 starts at Buffalo with a 6-3 record, 278 earned run average for Hutch. This is his second stint with the Jays this year.
His previous outing was a start on April 24th right here at Rogers Center against Oakland. Picked up a win in that game, pitched 5 2/3, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. There's a line drive to left. Saunders is there, and he makes the catch. Jimenez is retired. 1 down here in the 7th.
In the way that they have used Hutchison today, coming in on a clean inning, you got to figure that they need some multiple innings out of him. He last pitched 4 days ago in the minor leagues, so he's fresh, stretched out.
He threw 74 pitches in his most recent outing. That covered 6 innings. He allowed just 1 hit to Louisville. Raj Davis drills one to center, gets past Pilar, goes all the way to the wall. Davis is making his turn around second, and he'll stop there. Boy, he was thinking about 3. He's already tripled in this game today.
And he's also homered, so he's got the 3 tough ones out of the way. If you're thinking about a cycle, he drilled that ball. Pilar did the right thing. He gave ground in center field, trying to catch this on a hop and hold him to a single. But it hit that hot turf and bounced over his head for extra bases. Raj Davis double, triple, and homer so far today.
Raj is 3 for 4 in his 4 plate appearances. Blue Jays with a 5-4 lead. Better make Davis stop at second.
Blue Jays know all about Raj Davis at third base and his ability to steal third.
This is a fly ball to center. Pilar has got it quickly back into the infield. Davis will trot back to second.
Boy, that was a heck of a play by Pilar. Say, well, what was the big deal right there? It was a long fly ball, and he understands who's at second base, Raj Davis. If he was thinking about tagging up, or if he wasn't really sure, he didn't tag up at all. But Pilar doesn't know that as he goes back for the ball, catches it, and just flips it all the way in. All the way back to the infield. His arm has been good this year, I think. Accurate.
Breaking ball for a strike. Jose Ramirez 1 for 3. Fastball fouled back. It's 0-2 quickly. Elevated, but he wouldn't chase. 1-2. Drew Hutchison trying to save this run at second. Raj Davis. He can fly. It'll be tough to throw him out at the plate with 2 outs. Oh, a late swing, and Ramirez is able to stay alive.
Hutch has that ability to pitch up in the strike zone with his fastball. Got a short arm swing and flips it up there. You'll see a lot of those types of swings where it's late, almost like an emergency swing. But he can get through it. It looks like they're going to go up there one more time.
There, Davis broke for third. He took 2 big steps like he was going to run and then decided to stop. He has 6 steals of third base this season.
There he is at second base. You know, he can score just as easily from second base on a base hit. You just got to make sure that that batter knows that you're going, so you don't split his concentration.
Aaron Loop retired, the only man he faced to end the 6th. He and Hutchison just joined the ball club this morning from AAA Buffalo. Hutch is doing a good job of kind of ignoring Raj Davis at second. The only guy that really matters here is the batter.
Yeah, he should be ignoring him. That guy really doesn't mean anything. You want to concentrate on the guy at the plate. Mr. Martin is out to talk to him and probably let him know exactly what they want to do here now with 2 strikes. Yeah, he should be focused on the guy at the plate. He's the guy who can hurt you.
Drew Hutchison with a 30-21 big league record. Inside. Hutchison has recorded 2 outs this inning. That gives him 400 big league innings right on the nose.
400.
So there's no rattle factor here.
Been there, done that.
Three-2 pitch, grounded foul. Ramirez is a tough out in these situations, as we've mentioned. He's hit nearly 400 with runners in scoring position this season.
The whole team has been hitting with runners in scoring position, especially during this win streak that they have put together. They have scored 6 or more runs at 8 times during this 14-game streak.
Ground ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through, and Davis is around 30, scores easily. Jose Ramirez with another terrific at bat. Fouled off pitch after pitch, got a pitch out of the plate and grounds it through the middle for an RBI single.
And he does it again with 2 outs. RBI hit. Told you, waving that magic wand with runners in scoring position. Fastball out away from him. He's got the plate coverage, takes it right back through the middle. No chance for any of the infielders to knock that one down. Keep it on the infield, and the Indians have tied it.
So Marco Estrada will end up with a no decision. After 5 innings, he left the game with a 5-3 lead. Ramirez 10 for 13 in stolen bases. Mike Napoli has had a rough start to his day. 3 strikeouts in 3 plate appearances. Napoli hits one to left. Saunders is on the run at the wall, looking up off the wall. Pilar's there to back it up. They overthrow the cutoff man, and they got a shot but late at the plate. Pilar's throw from left missed Tulowitzki. It went over him. Had he hit Tulowitzki, they would have had a good shot at making a play on Ramirez, who scores from first.
They would have had a great shot. Tulowitzki possesses a very strong and very accurate arm. Napoli facing Drew Hutchison. He's faced him in the past. He got a breaking ball, hits it off the wall. Michael Saunders goes back. He just can't get it. Backed up by Pilar, and this is the play you were just talking about. He overthrows the first cutoff man. You got to hit that first guy. It gets to him quicker. Barney behind him short hops it, and by the time he gets that ball in, no chance to get that runner.
For Napoli, that's his 5th hit against Hutchison, his 4th double in 12 at bats. So the Indians have taken a 6-5 lead here in the top half of the 7th.
They're going to appeal over there at third base. They thought that Ramirez missed the bag. I was watching him come around the bag. He stumbled a little bit, but it looks like he got the corner of the bag. Let's see.
Hutchison steps off, and umpire at third waves safe. That indicates he felt Ramirez touched the bag.
Yeah, that's your job as a third baseman, to make sure he hits the bag. And he stumbled just a little bit, got his feet a little bit tangled, but he just got the corner just enough. I saw that from all the way up here. So he scores the tie-breaking run.
So Ramirez, with the base hit that tied it up, he scores the go-ahead run here in the 7th. And now Carlos Santana, who's had a perfect day at the plate, single home run walk.
Boy, the Indians, they just keep coming at you, don't they?
Well, they're playing with house money. They've
Yeah.
won 14 straight. They've got a comfortable lead in the Central.
They're playing loose. They're playing confident. They're making their breaks.
The Indians had a 22-6 record in June. The only Cleveland team that had a better record was the 54 Cleveland Indians that won 111 games. They had a 26-win month of June in 1954 in August.
You know, their 14-game win streak has tied the football team from 1948 with the longest single-season Cleveland major sports win streak. 14 in a row.
Popped up. Darwin Barney, the third baseman, will make the grab. But Cleveland scores 2 in the top half of the 7th to take a 6-5 lead. The Blue Jays will counter with Josh Donaldson to start the bottom of the 7th, and Edwin Encarnacion, who is homered and singled, and Michael Saunders, who's 1 for 2 so far. Two with a walk. He walked in his first at bat, and he's coming off a streak of 22 exceptional games when you look at his numbers.
Hitting nearly 400 at 386, 34 hits, 16 extra base hits. He is now first in American League in walks, third in extra base hits. And here comes another one.
Deep to center field, and we are tied up. Stay hot, Josh. It gets loud in here.
Too loud for that youngster, but the Blue Jays will take it as they fight back to tie it up. That didn't take long. Third and extra base hits coming into this game with 42. That is number 43, and it has tied this game and got the crowd fired up.
Donaldson hits the home run off his former teammate, Dan Otero. They played together in Oakland. Otero got him out last night. Not so today. Broken bat. Shallow fly ball. Kipnis back into center field. Makes the catch.
Well, he didn't waste any time. We just mentioned that he was on a great tear. Hitting some tough pitching and coming up with some clutch hits. That was a no doubt about it to straightaway center field. He's had a walk and a home run this afternoon.
Donaldson flied out against Otero to end the 7th, and they kind of crossed paths as Otero was walking off the field at the end of that inning. They were teammates in Oakland, as we mentioned. So now Donaldson has the upper hand in that head-to-head matchup with the home run against Otero. Saunders shows bunt and takes the ball.
Picking the right situation to do just that. You just tied this ball game up. They've got the shift on. You got one infielder playing deep at third base. That's the time to do it.
Sharp single into center. His second hit of the afternoon. He's 2 for 3. Otero came in and ended the 6th inning, getting Devin Travis to fly out.
A lot of hits right back through the middle, isn't there?
Saunders had a single to center in the 3rd. Josh Donaldson has tied it up on the first pitch in the 7th. His 5th first pitch home run of the season. The 20th the Blue Jays have hit. Jason Grilli, the right-hander, appears to be ready. He's just kind of standing by. He has already warmed up. Six ball game. Martin strikes out, 2 down. Drive of the game is brought to you by the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Troy Tulowitzki reached base 5 times in yesterday's marathon ball game, and over his last 10 games, he is starting to hit the ball with authority. A couple of doubles, and this is going to be his 5th home run. A line drive into the bullpen of the Blue Jays. Gave the Blue Jays the lead. It's our drive of the game, and for Troy Tulowitzki, it's a historic home run.
It sure is. The home run against Cleveland has now Tulowitzki's hit a home run. That ball gets away from Ramirez, and all hands are safe. Tulowitzki, with that home run in his previous at-bat, has homered against all 30 teams in the majors. He homered against his former team, Colorado, on that most recent stop in Denver. He has one home run against Boston, one home run against Colorado, one home run against Cleveland, and one home run against Seattle. But he's homered against all 30 teams.
That's amazing. You know, we told you he was a mega star when he was with the Colorado Rockies. Shows you why right there. Homering against every team in the big league.
The air keeps the inning alive. Ramirez charged with the air at third.
They played airless baseball for 19 innings yesterday. Now the Blue Jays are going to try and capitalize on the error here.
The Indians have scored 6 runs on 9 hits. The Ramirez error, their first. The Blue Jays have scored 6 runs on 9 hits without an error. The Jays have stranded 6. The Indians have left 5. Pilar out in front of that one, pulls it foul. Josh Donaldson with another dramatic home run, a home run to center field, his 20th home run of the season. RBI number 54.
Every run today for the Blue Jays has come via a home run. How about a double right here to score 2?
Way outside, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Indians won the opener on Thursday night behind a terrific pitching performance from Carlos Carrasco. Carrasco went 7 1/3 and had 14 strikeouts. Last night's game, yesterday afternoon into the evening, was a 19-inning affair that the Indians won 2-1 on the solo home run by Carlos Santana. Josh Tomlin, the starter in that game. Today they had to use the bullpen. Zach McAllister started because Trevor Bauer, today's scheduled starter, pitched 5 innings of relief to pick up the win in last night's game.
Win-back game, his 7th win. Somebody wanted baseball, and they said, "Okay, don't want it that bad."
Hit back to the mound. Otero reaches for it a couple of times. He stays with it. Retires Pilar. The Blue Jays strand a pair, but Josh Donaldson on the first pitch of the bottom of the 7th has tied it up with his 20th home run.
Join the big leagues and check out a Blue Jays Acura luxury suite for a business meeting and a baseball game. Our account executives will find the package that best suits your needs. Call 416-341-1635 or visit bluejays.com/luxury suites.
Well, we go to the 8th inning, and the Blue Jays have gone once again to their bullpen. It'll be the veteran Jason Grilli coming on.
If we've said this already, I apologize. But he pitched yesterday in the game. Everybody pitched in the game yesterday. Jason Grilli had a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. Grilli's been a nice addition to that bullpen since he came over from Atlanta in a trade.
Lonnie Chisenhall leads things off for Cleveland. Chisenhall 0 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts.
He was robbed of a hit by Edwin Encarnacion back in the 4th inning. Had a big game yesterday with 5 knocks. Got the collar so far this afternoon.
Going to slice foul. Nice play on the ball boy down there.
Very nice.
Getting into the act.
He saved some fan in that first row. Got his helmet on. He got his glove. Make a play. I don't know if that guy behind him with the hat was going to catch that ball. To tell you the truth.
I like the ball boy's chances better. 1-2 to Chisenhall. Grilli reaching back for a little extra on that fastball. Pumps the heater right by Chisenhall. He has struck out 3 times this afternoon.
Blue Jay pitching now have struck out 11 Indians this afternoon in the 8th inning. Reaches back for a little something extra. And that's right by him.
Francisco Lindor batting for the first time today. He's a switch hitter that came on after Juan Uribe was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Lindor had 3 hits in the 19-inning game yesterday. He was 0 for 4 in the opener, so he is 3 for 13 in the first 2 games.
2 perfect pitches right there by Jason Grilli, right on the outside corner. That's what they like about this guy. He's been around for a long time. He doesn't get too excited, too emotional in these types of situations. He and Russell have worked well together, haven't they?
Going back to their days in Pittsburgh. High fastball that Lindor got a piece of it. Jason Grilli's father, Steve Grilli, pitched in the major leagues with the Tigers. He's also had an appearance with the Blue Jays, and Jason has said time and time again this is a dream come true for him. He grew up a Blue Jay fan growing up in Syracuse, and now he gets a chance to pitch for the Blue Jays.
He looks good in blue, doesn't he? The Blue Jays uniform looks natural.
Slider bounced between first and the mound, and Grilli handles it easily. 2 down. Top of the 8th inning, 2 outs. Look at Tulowitzki. Right on cue. He comes in to give Grilli a chance to catch his breath. He had to make that fielding play, so Tulowitzki comes in.
And he takes his familiar path back to second base and touches it before he takes up shop at shortstop.
Center fielder Tyler Naquin. Well, he's been able to get that fastball upstairs in a good spot.
He is making some great pitches. Facing 3 really good left-handed hitters, hot hitters for the Indians, and going through them easily. Set Chisenhall down with a strikeout, a little comebacker off the bat of Lindor, and now he's got Naquin where he wants him.
Grilli retired the side in order in the 8th inning in yesterday's game. He got Lindor to ground out and then struck out Napoli and Jose Ramirez. 3 up, 3 down in that outing. He threw 16 pitches in his 1 inning.
Same kind of outing right here. He's thrown 12 pitches. 10 of them have been strikes.
Upstairs does it. Jason Grilli, another perfect inning of relief, a couple of strikeouts. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th in a 6-6 game. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie and Greg in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Sportsnet Now, a new way to live stream sports without cable TV. Visit sportsnet.ca/now to start your free trial today.
Another tie ball game late into the game. It's a 6-6 game as the Blue Jays bat in the bottom of the 8th.
Blue Jays know all about playing these late, tight games, don't they? Seems like every game the Blue Jays have been in has been close like this.
The Indians have played their share of extra inning games. The Blue Jays are 3-6 in extra inning games, and the Indians are 4-3.
Blue Jays have played 22 one-run games already this year. They are 8-14 in those one-run games, but it seems like every game has been like this. Back and forth, tight, getting late into the ball game. Darwin can't believe that breaking ball was called a strike.
One down.
Teros had a strikeout last inning. Throws this breaking ball. Darwin thinks it's off the plate, but it's called a strike. It's 8 strikeouts this afternoon for the Indians.
One down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back to the top of the order. Ezekiel Carrera. Three and 0. On deck is Devin Travis. A 1-out walk. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Blue Jays have hit 3 home runs this afternoon. For the season, they are 12-3 when they hit 3 or more home runs. Dan Otero gave up the tying home run to Josh Donaldson. He is out of the game. Tommy Hunter, the big right-hander, coming in to work to Devin Travis. Travis. Game with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The runner at first base. New pitcher is Tommy Hunter.
Tommy Hunter began the season on the disabled list. He was rehabbing over off-season core muscle surgery. Didn't pitch in spring training.
Devin Travis goes out for the first pitch and rips it into center. Welcome to the ball game, Tommy Hunter.
So he got his season started late, but he seems to be rounding into form over the last month. He hasn't given up an earned run in any of his appearances. This is a first pitch fastball from Travis, and he gets his hitting streak alive with that base hit. Josh Donaldson. This is why we are at 6-6. First pitch hitting off of Dan Otero at his palm. Number 20 on the season for JD. And now he has a chance to untie it.
Goes after the first pitch. Naquin got a bad break. They're going to send the runner around third. Here's the throw to the plate. It is in time. Carrera says no way.
I don't know if he tagged him. I don't know if he tagged him.
Naquin got a bad read on it, but he played the hop well and got rid of it very quickly, and they're going to have a look at this play at home.
Jimenez swiped at Carrera, who dove around the catcher. And from here, when he swiped that, I just don't know if he tagged him. That's why we have review. One more time, you see him come around. Here's the swipe, and he didn't get him.
Very difficult to catch up to a sliding base runner when you catch the ball in front of him. You just can't move your hands quick enough to make up the difference in speed. But they're going to have a look at this one. The crew chief at first is John Hirschbeck. He's the crew chief. He will join DJ Rayburn, the umpire at the plate that made the call. The replay review is powered by Samsung. Carrera walked with one out, went to second base on the base hit by Travis, and came around third. And the call on the field was that he was thrown out at the plate.
This one will tell you right here. Hand is on. I don't know if he even tagged him. One more time, you see him coming around. I don't think he got him on the leg either before he touched home plate.
Now, it doesn't appear as though he made contact at all. Watch the glove as he swipes at the base runner. He missed him. Never touched him. Generally, you look for a wrinkle in the uniform or a bend in the glove, something like that, that indicates contact. Carrera quickly bounced to his feet and said, no way, he didn't tag me.
Also looked like he got his hand on the plate before that tag. If there was the phantom tag, that his hand was already on home plate.
So this play is under review. The call on the field is that Carrera is out, tagged by Chris Jimenez. And it appears as though he had a clean miss, and Carrera's left hand went across the top of home plate.
Carrera bounced up and said no way. He never felt the tag. One more time, watch him. Jimenez goes out in front of home plate, swipes at him.
I tell you this, you cannot fault the umpire for his position.
No.
He did a terrific job. DJ Rayburn moved around as the play was developing so he would have the best angle to see if there was indeed a tag. Watch the umpire continue to move to get the best angle, and he does. That's great positioning. But I don't think Jimenez tagged out Carrera.
He swipes at him. Carrera gets down low. From that angle, it just does not look like he tagged any part of his body. That's a miss.
That's a swing and a miss right there. It was interesting watching Tommy Hunter, the pitcher, and Edwin Encarnacion, the next batter. Edwin goes safe, Hunter goes out. They both reacted. They were standing equidistant from home plate. Obviously, a pivotal play. The umpires have their decision now. Safe. So Josh Donaldson has tied it up, and he's also given the Blue Jays the lead here in the 8th. His home run leading off the 7th tied it up. His RBI single here in the 8th has given the Blue Jays the lead. And Tommy Hunter is not out of the woods yet.
He was standing on that mound a long time while they were reviewing that play. See if Edwin can take advantage of it now. feel a lot better if they got a couple of more runs here.
1-0 to Encarnacion. Now it's even. We mentioned the Blue Jays with 3 home runs today. For the season, they are 12-3 when they hit 3 or more home runs in a game.
Oh, that was nasty. 93 with some sink. Edwin didn't pick that one up.
Is standing by ready in the Blue Jays bullpen.
Is that R.A. Dickey behind him there? Working on the towel drill? R.A. down in the bullpen. There he is.
There go the runners. Check swing, and they're going to appeal the first no swing. Says John Hirschbeck. They were moving on the pitch. The ball was in the dirt. Jimenez thought it was a swing. He tagged Encarnacion, then asked for the appeal.
I love it. I love the Blue Jays staying aggressive on the bases, taking advantage of Tommy Hunter. This is a slider. They're taking off. Does he go? No. Says John Hirschbeck, and with the ball in the dirt, Travis and Donaldson can move up.
That's a called strike 3. Encarnacion's retired. Michael Saunders, a left-handed hitter, will come to the plate. He's had a 2-hit day, 2 for 3 with a walk.
Got to put him on, don't you?
It's a base open.
Looks like they're going to pitch to him.
The runner that came in, Tommy Hunter, allowing the inherited run to score, just the 24th inherited runner that has scored on the Cleveland bullpen. That's the 5th best mark in the American League.
That's one of the things that's getting overlooked, the work of the bullpen for the Indians during this win streak. Their ERA has been about 1, the best in baseball during that win streak. It will go up today because this has basically been a bullpen day for the Indians.
Travis at third, Donaldson at second. Saunders drive this one down the left field line. That's going to score 2. Travis is in. Right behind him is Donaldson. And Michael Saunders with his 3rd hit of the day. A big 2-run double with 2 outs.
You know, Michael can hit. That's why I'm surprised that with first base open that they decided to even pitch to him. He's swinging a hot bat today. He's using the whole field. And he comes up clutch. Serves that ball down the left field line. Look at that thing slicing away from Raj Davis. Both runners come in, and Blue Jays have a 3-run 8th inning.
Saunders 3 for 4 this afternoon. Russell Martin, the catcher. For Saunders, that's his 21st double of the season. A 2 RBI gives him 36 runs driven in.
Coming up clutch today. He's been on base 4 times. So's that guy. He's been clutch today. He tied it, and then he sent him ahead with that single to center.
Great slide by Carrera to avoid the tag at home plate. But it took replay review to determine he was safe.
You know, when that happened, I was like, I don't think he touched him. He swiped at him. But Carrera, with a nifty little slide at home plate, gets the call. And it was right. He never touched him.
Ezekiel has had another good day leading off. He scored a pair of runs. Has a bunt single, been on base 3 times. Russell gets jammed. Ground ball to third. Ramirez throws him out. But the Blue Jays with 3 big runs in the bottom of the 8th. Josh Donaldson tied it up, and in the safe review play, the Blue Jays took the lead. Saunders added to that lead.
Live on your phone and tablet with the MLB.com At-Bat app. Customize At-Bat to feature your Blue Jays and stay up to the moment at any moment with scores, news, live game video highlights, and much more. Download MLB.com At-Bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
We go to the 9th. The Blue Jays have a 9-6 lead, and with that, here comes the closer. It's Roberto Osuna into this ball game. Osuna looking for his 16th save of the season.
He's only blown 2 of them, 15 for 17 this year, an outstanding .245 earned run average. His fastball, slider, and he's throwing in a changeup every now and then. He's got tremendous control. Just 8 walks this season as Justin Smoke takes over at first base for Edwin Encarnacion. For a young player with a good arm, he understands that strike zone.
Barney right in front of the Blue Jays dugout, stayed with it. That was up there a mile high. He had a long run that stayed with it to record the first out in the 9th.
One more time, watch his spikes. It's like it gets caught and then tumbles and makes the catch. Can smile after that one.
That was up there forever. Raj Davis is a single shy of the cycle. And there it is. How about that? Raj Davis homered in the first, tripled in the third, doubled in the 7th, and now singles here in the 9th.
And the fans get it. They understand. Look at them, they're giving him a standing ovation. That's the reverse cycle. He did it in reverse order. Home run, triple, double, and a single, and the fans get it.
And there's the baseball to indicate that great accomplishment. There goes Davis, no hesitation whatsoever. Tulowitzki wants him to check. came off the base, according to Tulo. Bill Welke, the second base umpire, waved Rajay safe, his 22nd steal of the season.
And we will wait to see the outcome of this. Davis takes off on first movement. Let's see, he's on the bag there. I don't think that foot ever came off of the bag. No, that'll be an easy one. They're going to look at it.
Rajay Davis with that cycle is the 8th Indian to hit for a cycle, the first since Travis Hafner accomplished that. Troy Tulowitzki held the glove on Davis, and he contends that Rajay lost contact with the base after reaching it safely.
Blue Jays have a challenge here, so they're going to challenge it. He kept that glove on the leg right there. But did you see anywhere where the leg came off the bag? If the right one came off, the left one looked like it went back on it as he slides over second base. See how the left one, or his right one?
Yeah, his right one is still on contact.
The other one, the left one was on the bag. That's the one that was being tagged, but the right one then made contact.
Davis becomes the second big leaguer to hit for the cycle this season. Freddie Freeman of the Braves did it on June 15th against Cincinnati. As we mentioned, the last Indians player to hit for the cycle was Travis Hafner. Big power hitter.
He got the two out of the way, the two toughest ones out of the way very quickly. And he's going to be safe at second base with his 22nd stolen base.
Hafner accomplished the cycle August 14, 2013 against the Minnesota Twins. Troy Tulowitzki hit for the cycle as a member of the Rockies in 2009. That's kind of cool. I mean, it really
is.
Gives you an indication of the versatility of the hitters. Home run, triple, double, and single.
And he did it in order. Well, reverse order. Home run in the first, triple in the third, double in the seventh, and now single in a stolen base here in the ninth.
Jason Kipnis pops it up. Tulowitzki calls for it out onto the outfield grass. He makes the catch, 2 down. Roberto Osuna looking for save number 16. That'll put him in the top 10, at least for the time being. Zach Britton with 23 leads the American League. Ramirez swings and misses. 4 pitchers in the American League have 20 or more saves. Britton, K-Rod, David Robertson, and Steve Cishek of the Mariners. 0-1. That's going to reach the seats, and the Indians are down to their last out. Then their 14-game win streak is close to coming to an end.
Burrow's got a good fastball today. Couple of pop outs. Throwing it at the top of that strike zone.
1-2 as he overthrew that breaking ball. Going to be into the seats as well down the right side this time. Ramirez with another big hit today as he tied it up with a single in the 7th and scored the go-ahead run.
This guy puts up pretty good at bats with runners in scoring position. That was the right call right there. Throw him a changeup. See if you can get him off stride just a little bit.
It's a big at-bat right here, 3-2. Napoli on deck with big power.
And he would represent the tying run, so you got to challenge him right here. Don't want to lose him.
Mike Napoli hit an RBI double in the 7th, his last time up. Marnie will give chase, but that's well back out of play.
Second time that Ramirez has thrown that bat, loses contact with it. Here it comes. Right back to the backstop.
3-2 again. Bouncer back to Osuna. Ball game. The Indians' 14-game win streak comes to an end. Roberto Osuna picks up save number 16. Jason Grilli picks up his first win as a Blue Jay with a perfect inning of relief.
Total team effort by the pitching staff today. Estrada 5 innings, then Biagini, Luke, Hutchison, Grilli, and Osuna to finish it off. Josh Donaldson ties it up with a home run and then wins it. Would be a game-winning RBI late in this ball game. Blue Jays total team effort. They needed this one against the Indians this afternoon.
They sure got a good effort from everybody involved, and we must acknowledge a terrific 14-game win streak by the Cleveland Indians. A historic win streak, but the Blue Jays snap it with a 9-6 win here on Saturday.